this article is about the changes in the self-concept that the students have over themselves and in this intensive summer program, which is for gifted students, even though it's called intensive. There are two different groups from the gifted high school, and they are separate. They're completely separate. They complete two distinctive self-concept measurement tests before the summer camp, the day they begin the summer camp, and the last day of the summer camp. And it focuses on the pattern. If the results will focus on how the patterns from the beginning, before, and after the program, and it will show the course of over time how that academic program will have a self-competence over time and a decline in social acceptance. Physical and athletic competence became more positive over the course somehow, like if they did some athletic sports in there. And the differences were found between the males and the females, not just ages, which is usually between 11 to 14-year-old. And the findings suggest that the programs influence the different dimensions of the students' self-concept of themselves. So I guess the rigorous academic procedures that program had really made an effect on their self-concept, and the results later show that it will be positive. The subjects in the study includes students who are attending the two different summer camps, but the one program involves 360 students who are mostly focused on literature and arts, and the second program focuses on the science and the math realm. The literature and art program is fast-paced, as in for like instruction, I'm assuming. Wrong. The program is apparently has a characteristic of being like a fast-paced proficiency model of instruction. I don't know what that means. Both camp do have the students to study one high school course 5 hours a day for 5 days a week for a 3-week period, and it's from like I said before, from the ages 11 to 15 actually, but the majority of them were 13 to 14-year-olds, and the majority were whites. And the students for the first program, I forgot the name of the program, they have to have a score of 430 higher for the verbal test and 500 on the mathematic test. And I'm pretty sure the test is called Scholastic Aptitude Test. That's what it's called. And for the second program, they had the same thing, but this time they had 33 females and 64 males. And the students had to combine their SAT scores for the math and the verbal test, and it had to come out greater than 800. And so the students on both programs received a self-perception profile, which is a test which they took, which is based on what they had to participate on. It was on the first day of school, first day of the program, last day of the program, and before the program. The results were that the self-image that they have on themselves, the scholastic competence, the social acceptance, and the athletic competence changed over the time. Like, they did not stay the same from the beginning of the programs. This would be for the first program, which is the Northwestern program. And so for the view of their own athletic competence grew more positive over the time in the program than their own physical appearance, actually. And for the second program, which is I think Anna Grove, the shift with the lower scholastic competence and the higher social acceptance and the higher athletic competence was an equal shift results to the first program, which is the Northwestern program. But there was no changes in the physical appearance and behavioral conduct or the global self-worth during that time. But they both did have a decline in the scholastic competence over the time from the pre-program, which is prior test, then from the last day, but not during the program, which was, I'm pretty sure, the first day. But both programs did have experience an increase of social acceptance from the first day to the last day, but not prior. And they had gained from such challenging academic experience that the programs impacted them in a positive way on their self-esteem and a healthy self-perception of themselves as a gifted students. So the rigorous academic programs they were put into did have an impact on them academically, self-perception wise, and it was just a healthy way for them for perfection in some ways. From this program, they gained such challenging academic experience, but they did generally get impacted really well as they already have healthy self-esteem and healthy self-perception of themselves as gifted students. Yeah.